Did you hear Big Bird is back? Not the one from Sesame Street, but we'll get to that. Either way, good morning, good day, good evening, whichever one it may be for you. Welcome to the Disc Golf Show. My name is Nick, and this is episode 26 of the 2026 season. Yeah, 2626. And the show is brought to you in part by our local sponsor, Final Nine Sports, our local pro shop. They have 2 locations in the Northern California area, one in Orangevale, one in Rockland. Always support local if you can. However, if you're unable to do so, we do have a remedy, and that is Disc Golf Deals USA. You've probably heard of them. They're a sponsor of the Disc Golf Pro Tour, but they're also a sponsor of our podcast. If you go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow, you can save 10% off of your entire order. Some exclusions do apply, but the majority of everything on there is good for that savings. You know, we like to start with good news. We don't have any babies or weddings or anything this episode. However, we'll just get into the news as is. We did get an update on the Japan Open. It was supposed to be scheduled for 2027 next year. However, it has now been pushed back to 2028. We're going to have to wait another year, but can't do much about that. I am still looking forward to that event when it does return. There is an update. We did mention how PDGA had recently teamed up with UPSI, and we also mentioned that UPSI teamed up with Parkley. Well, now PDGA has partnered with Parkley. So all 3 of them working together, hopefully that will do some good for all 3 of them moving forward for tournaments and layouts and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that. Shout out to Ohn Scoggins. She actually is not overseas right now, but she did participate in the Summertime Open in Southern California. And she, due to the fact that she would have been the only one in the FPO division, she actually joined the MPO division and ended up winning by 3 strokes. She's currently rated 989, and there was only one other MPO player that was at that level. Everyone else was under that rating, but either way, she took down the Mixed Pro Open division, and shout out to her. We know she's more than capable. Excuse me, tickle. Moving on to the Swedish Open. That was the most recent Pro Tour event. Again, the majority of the players, professional players, are overseas right now. They've got a couple more events over there before they return to the US, but we'll run through kind of a quick combination of events or run through the rounds that actually played out, how they played out. So round 1, you'll know this name from the European Open the previous weekend. Kristina Yursakova, who is, I believe, around 15 years old, somewhere around there, took the early lead by 1. So she finished 3rd. I guess we can get to that later, but she had finished 3rd at European Open. So we know that she's got the capability to compete at that high-end level. So she took the early lead by 1. As for MPO, Niklas Antala led by 1 over Calvin Heimberg, Jakub Nepek, Mari Vilman, and Roland Koer. They were all tied for second after round 1. Round 2, this again, Swedish Open was only 3 rounds, so moving day, Silva jumped ahead with a 2-stroke lead over Holland Handley. So Kristina didn't play as well, but she was still playing solid disc golf. MPO Eagle McMahon shot a 10 down to push into the lead, to take the lead from Niklas. And Calvin Heimberg stays in second, tied with Ezra Robinson moving into the final round. And as for the final round, we had a sudden death playoff between Silva and Evelina. And that sudden death lasted 4 holes, with Silva actually maintaining the victory and coming out on top. And I believe she defended her title on this at this event. So shout out to Silva for showing that she's not going anywhere. We all know that. As for MPO, there was a battle between Calvin and Eagle. The leads flip-flopped back and forth throughout the final round, and we have a new winner. Well, not new. He's won quite a while ago. So Eagle gets his first big win for over 4 years. You know, he's had some health issues. He's had some back injuries. I'm sure there's personal issues that he's probably having dealt with. You know, he's recently been married. There's a lot going on in Eagle's life, but it's good to see he's been pushing this year at the top level at a lot of these events. His name's been popping up as a possible winner, and he does finally get that win, and it's kind of fitting. He's a big fan of the European disc golf, as are a lot of the players, but yeah, big shout out to Eagle. Other than that, with Calvin taking second, Adam Hammis actually shoots a event hot round of 12 down in the final round to push into a tie for third with Ezra Robinson. So big ups to Adam for shooting that awesome round, 12 down again. Both winners for the Swedish Open. I think this is the first time both winners, MPO and FPO, are MVP players. So if you're an MVP fan, I'm sure you're cheering both of them on and are happy for that outcome. I did want to notate and make sure that you keep your eyes peeled for Kristina Yursakova. You know, we did recently, I did just mention that she came in third at the European Open. And then obviously at this event, she ends up finishing in fourth, tied for fourth. But she has also won this year her first 5 events. Yes, they were B tiers, but that kind of track record, it builds your confidence moving forward. And I think we're going to see her name as long as in any event that she's going to be playing in, we're going to be seeing her name as a possible victor at any of these events. So also, as for payouts, apparently this event was the lowest for this year, that being the payouts, the total purse being the lowest, but payouts for MPO first place got 9 grand and FPO got 5. That's not bad. That's not bad, but you know, they keep pushing for these purses to get larger and larger, and yeah, we'll see. Next year, will it be larger? Probably. I think the toughest thing about the European swing, obviously, is the fact that for us over here in the US, is the viewing time. I caught a lot of highlights, very little live, but I do enjoy watching these events and these courses. They're beautiful courses. The landscape is great. The layout's great. The design is wonderful. So for those of you who are able to watch the whole thing, whether you're over here or over there, shout out to you. I hope you enjoyed it. We got some updates on the Pro Worlds info coming August 26th to the 30th. It's a 5-round event. It's Worlds. Tickets are actually going to be starting at $10. However, very limited access, and it's only going to be limited access for Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday rounds. So you're going to have to check those out. We'll have the link below for what that involves for those tickets. But also update, both the Platinum VIP Pass, which is a $4,500 pass, and the Gold VIP Pass, which is a $1,300 pass, have been sold out. So, you know, those true blue fans, they're going to have a blast with those VIP passes. Some of the others that are still available is the Silver VIP Pass at $900, the Bronze VIP Pass at $295, and the Full Event General Admission Pass, which is $125, still have availability. Also, single day passes for Wednesday through Sunday will be ranging from that $10 amount up to $130, depending on the day and the pass type. And the link for those tickets and everything is at Detroit26.com, but that link will be down below. Some updated news for the USWDGC. They have lifts that will be taking the players to the top of the mountain where hole 1 starts. It is a 25-minute ride, and they say to give yourself 30 to 35 minutes on the lift for hole 1. There will be 9 holes for practice purposes at the base, or there will be some practice baskets and some warm-up nets at the top. So those players do have their options. And also they have pre-orders for the MVP Fission Dimension and Fission Orbital discs, which are live. So if you want to pick up some of those USWDGC pre-orders, go check them out. Latitude, as for new discs, Latitude 64 has been discussing their Project Chain Grip experimental putter plastic, and it is a combination of their stiff zero hard core with the grippiest outer rim they've ever made. So, apparently it's supposed to stick better to the chains. We all know there's always these new kinds of combinations that come out. Whether they work or not, that'll be up to you to find out. So check that out. As for projects, we can move on to the Global. That's the Paul Macbeth Foundation new event that's going to be held on September 19th. It's going to have hundreds of PDGA sanctioned events taking place simultaneously across 50 states and 20 plus countries. A lot of good information here for you guys. It will have one worldwide leaderboard. They will be PDGA sanctioned C tiers. There's 2 rounds, shotgun starts. You can play AM or Pro, but the AMs will be paying $40 to play. The player pack is 2 custom stamped event discs, a custom Brixton card, a Paul Macbeth Foundation disc golf pin, some stickers, and a full color custom towel. That's always good. There's more than $40 worth there. And the pros will pay $50, and the payouts will be following the standard PDGA C tier guidelines. Just like Throw for More, the funds will help bring disc golf to communities that don't have it yet. So it's all going to a good purpose. If you are looking to run an event, because they're still looking for more events to be created and ran, for TDs, some of the information included is $8 a player stipend will be paid to the TD. Full registration setup and management support will be available. Plug and play event templates and assets, and centralized systems for payments and reporting. So if you are an event, a TD for events, check it out. Maybe you can run one in your area and help raise some funds for, again, Paul Macbeth Foundation, which does all kinds of good. I did want to note that we do talk about all these changes year to year with the PDGA. I just wanted to relate this to the PGA. The PGA recently had some changes for the future. I believe they're doing 2 tiers of touring. So, don't be dismayed by changes that happen for tour and PDGA purposes. It's happening to a sport that's been around a lot longer than us, and they still continue to have those changes. So, it's part of the game. There's always going to be changes. Talking about some changes at the PDGA, though, I did mention this in a recent episode, but there's been some more discussion popped up, and that is relating to jump putts. So the hullabaloo, or the rumors are saying that there is going to be some changes related to jump putts. Whether that's increasing the area around the basket in which you're allowed to make those jump putts, or whether it's doing away with jump putts altogether. We will see. They will push this out, obviously, to the public to get some opinions on, but that will be interesting moving forward into next year. Last but not least for news is a Silas Schultz watch. 5 out of the, just some good old information for Silas. 5 out of the 11 events that he has played, he has placed 17th or better. So shout out to him. I think this is probably his best season yet. His worst placement overall was his first event this year. He placed 66th at the Supreme Flight Open. So he's done better than his first event this year. So shout out to him. After this most recent update for the DGPT standings, he did drop 1 place. So he was 17th. He is now in 18th place, but we will keep you updated on his stats and his placement. If you do want to look for your favorite players or people you want to track, we'll have that link down to the standings, DGPT standings as well. That brings us to the question of the episode, relating to changes basically. What is the biggest issue, rule-wise, that you have with competitive disc golf. Is it jump putt related? Is it foot faults or time violations? Is it something else? Let me know what irks you the most when it comes to PDGA or competitive disc golf rule-wise. I'm always curious to see your guys' opinions. Before we move on to gear and equipment, guys, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, the like, the share, the notifications, all the goods. It really does help. I really do appreciate it, and I thank you for everything that you guys do. Moving on to gear and equipment, this segment's brought to you by Disc Golf Deals USA. Go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow to get that 10% off of your entire purchase. Again, some exclusions to apply, but big ticket items, baskets, bags, carts, large orders of discs, maybe practice putting discs. Save that money. It does add up. As for approved discs that have recently been approved, we have a few and we do have a target. So the discs are going to be the Infinite Discs Squire, the Graham Discs Warsaw. They have all their discs are named by cities. They have 12 approved molds, and their first one this year is this Warsaw. Prodiscus Codex, the Latitude 64 Wild, which does look wild because on the flight plate, as the rim comes up, it looks like it dips down to the flight plate. So that one's going to be interesting to see in hand. And then as for the target, you got Thor Walgren, the Pinza 1. It is a championship target. It has no nubs on the basket. I'm excited to see this and see if more of the basket manufacturers start to do this, because it just looks so clean. As for recent and upcoming releases, the Negative DG has the Eternity. It was available yesterday, June 29th. The flight characteristics are 9.5 -1.2. And then we had an update for Legend of the Chains. That is the disc golf card game. The Cosmic Rivals expansion pack is coming soon. They did want to apologize for the delay and being behind schedule, but these things happen. We know these things happen with Brixton. That happens. So pre-orders to begin shipping in July for Cosmic Rivals expansion pack for Legends of the Chains. Just shout out to them. Also, most important part of your disc golf gear are your shoes. We do have a couple options for you, and that is Idio Sports and Vessi. And that all comes down to your personal preference, style, but they're both lightweight, they're both waterproof, and one has a more zero style sole to it, but go check both of those options out and let me know which one you like most. As for upcoming events, we do have a few. We have July 3rd to 5th, which is next weekend, the 2026 Ale Open at the #1 course in the world, DGPT event in Knoll, Sweden. July 10th to 12th, we have the 2026 Heinola Open, which is a DGPT event in Heinola, Finland. And then again, don't forget, September 19th, the Global. That will be happening later this year. That brings us to the mailbag, guys. And we do have a sponsor for this segment now, and that is bucketsdg.com. Use code DiscGolfShow and you can save 10% off your order of their clothing, their products. They have some if you want to check out the shirt, you can check out last episode. I was wearing it in that episode, but very lightweight, breathable, comfortable. It fits well. Go check those shirts out. They have long sleeve, short sleeve. Check the variety out. A lot of different colors. Okay, this is the segment, the mailbag, where we give you some products and videos to consume. Whether you've consumed them or not, go check them out. As for the product, shout out to Hobby Discs. They have a few different discs that they carry, but the one that they sent is called their Jolly Roger. This one, I believe, is their Diamond Captain. It is $22. It's more of a champion, if you throw Innova, more of a champion style feel to it. And then they sent me one, which is the USA Cookout Jolly Roger Stamp Platinum Blend. And that one is currently at $15. There is a limited supply on that stamp, so go check it out. That's more of it's a really stiffer star style plastic, if you relate it to Innova. But the Jolly Roger is a neutral flying mid-range, and so stability, I love this, neutral. They don't say stable or anything like that. It is a neutral flying disc. The flight number is 5, 5.5, -1, 1.5. And they also carry some kid-friendly discs, so lighter weight discs. So go check those out. And they have some apparel on there. Really cool visuals for their apparel. But go check them out, hobbydiscs.com. As for videos, we do have several this time that I wanted to share with you. Disc Golf Pro Tour has the Eagle McMahon Soars in Sweden. It's a compilation of his victory at the Swedish Open. So go check that out. Link will be down below. All Birdies, No Bogeys podcast had Eagle on after his victory. And he did state, and I love this take, that the tour has every kind of disc golf style course. Big and open, tight and technical, experimental, short, long. There's a chance for every top pro player to get that win. And that's completely true with that outlook. So go check that out and learn more about Eagle via that podcast. All Birdies, No Bogeys. Isaac Robinson had another update. Is pro disc golf actually profitable? So if you want to learn more about that, go check him there. And then Silas Schultz has the unseen side of the European Open. See what happens off the course. I love his edits. I love his videos. So if you are a fan of Silas, even if you're not, go check him out and subscribe to all these channels. Disc Golf Pro Tour, All Birdies, No Bogeys, Isaac Robinson, Silas Schultz. Go check them out. That brings us to the end of the show, guys. Thank you for all your support. This is where we like to give you some options to save some money. If you're looking for a new bag, go to Upper Park Disc Golf. Use code DiscGolfShow and save some funds there. Again, shout out to Buckets DG. Use code DiscGolfShow there, and you can save 10% off your purchase. Big shout out to Disc Golf Deals USA. Go to discgolfdealsusa.com/discgolfshow. Save 10% off of your entire purchase. Some exclusions do apply, but those large orders, that 10% adds up, so save it when you can. And as always, shout out to Final Nine Sports, our local pro shop. If you are in Sacramento, Northern California, Sacramento area, they have 2 locations, one in Orangevale, one in Rockland. Always support local if you can. And if you have any suggestions to send my way, send them to discgolfshow@gmail.com. I'm always happy to add some information to a future episode show notes and share some information with our followers. So yeah, hit that subscribe, that like, that share, the notifications. I think that's all of the goods. I really do appreciate, guys. I appreciate your support, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you next week.